Okay, here we are. No better way to spend a beautiful fall afternoon after work than working on a car. Here's the beast. 2006 Focus. Picked it up pretty cheap. Craigslist. It's got a few issues. Motor mounts. So I'll plan on starting a car, and there's a couple different things with motor mounts. What this car is doing under acceleration when you're driving, get a lot of vibration, you know, not clunky vibration, but just a lot of jumping around down by the wheels. So I tend to believe it's motor mounts. This car has 3 motor mounts. I don't know how deep. I'll probably, change all 3 motor mounts, but the video is more about symptoms of the motor mounts. The one thing you'll see once I start the car up, I'll put it in drive and hold the brake on it, and you'll see the engine shifting forward, and I'll put it in reverse and shifting back. It's a lot of movement you're gonna see, so it's a little bit obvious that the motor mount could be bad. I got my motor mount kit off eBay, 60 bucks, 65 bucks. It should be perfect. You could buy motor mounts anywhere, but for the cost of one motor mount at a parts store, I got all 3 of them off eBay. So. And the motor mounts, my take on eBay parts is if they're easily accessible, it doesn't, if a motor mount slowly goes bad, you can always put a new one in. I don't know if I'd recommend, like parts for the radiator or other real functional parts off of eBay, because if you get an inexpensive part and your car overheats because of that part, well, that's probably not the best use of money. But like motor mounts, how bad could they be, right? So anyway, let me get this thing going. Another thing with motor mounts you'll hear is, while you're going to start it up, you hear a lot of grumbling, growling from the motor. And the weirdest thing is, and I don't know why, but once the car warms up, some of that grumbling and growling goes away. And I'm not sure why that would be motor mounts. Maybe when it starts, runs a little rougher, but that's one of the things this car is doing too. So let me get the thing going, and you'll hopefully enjoy the video. So I think what you saw there was the engine shifting back and forth quite a bit. I mean, by hand, of course, it seems pretty good, but once you put it under load, it seems to go this way and that way pretty good. So let me look through the vid and make sure you saw it. So here's the amazing parts we got. Like I said, eBay. This thing goes underneath the car. I'll show you where it goes. This one goes underneath the battery. I knew we were good. And this one goes on the passenger side. This is usually the culprit, this monster right here. But again, I got 3 of these for the price of 1 at the auto parts store. And I do like going to my auto parts store. I go to Advanced Auto. They are the best. But anyway, if I can get 3 for the price of 1 on eBay, if I have time, I will get them and I will put them in. If I needed it right away, of course, Advanced Auto's the place to go. So I'm going to replace this one first. I have it up on ramps, and I'd actually like to test this out. Just put this on, drive it, and see if I still get the vibration. I'm guessing I will. I'm not thinking this is too bad. Then I'll do this one and drive it and see which one makes the biggest difference. It'll be interesting more than anything else. So here we go. Here we are, right under the car. Transmission is right here. Right back a little bit. There's that offending part. I'll take it out. Looks like just a bolt. I got to take this bolt out. Take that bolt out under here. Piece of cake. So let me get that one out. And again, I'm really not trying to show you how to take the parts out. There's a lot of great videos doing it. I just want to go through one at a time and see how much of the vibrations contributed by each one. So let me pull this beast out. Now I changed the lower motor mount. The one I showed you that hooks the transmission to the frame. And quite honestly, I wouldn't think it'd make much of a difference, but it did. So let me turn the car back on and off, and let's see. Yeah, put it in drive. Let me turn the car on, put it in drive, and let's see if the motor shifts around a little less. Okay, I'm going to take it for a drive and see if it made a difference. Again, the vibration I would feel on acceleration, the whole car would jump around a little bit. So anyway, let me take it out for a spin, and I want to get it off the ramps anyway, because these motor mounts are easier to access if the car is a little bit lower. So I want to get it off the ramps anyway. Any motor mount I'd have to work on is, I'm done with that being on the ramps. So hold on. I got to tell you, this is what we replaced. This is the Ford part. Replaced the transmit. It made a much bigger difference than I would have guessed. I mean, there's still vibration. I'm not done. I think I got to replace. But I would have said that this was fine, and the only reason I'm replacing it is because I got the new part to replace it. But it did make a difference. So good knowledge, I guess. So anyway, here we go. Now, probably the one that causes the most grief, I've replaced them on Escorts before, is this one under here. So it's not too hard to get at. It's a pretty good DIY, I guess. There's a bolt here, and you got to unclip something stupid here. But, and again, it's not a big deal. I really, not intended this video to be how to get the thing out, but I guess let me take a couple cracks at it here, and I'll see if I can get a decent video getting it out. So hold on. So we got a 10mm bolt here, nut, I should say socket. And there's a little stab you got to depress back here to get this off, but this isn't my car. It's already been busted, so we don't got to worry about that. So that comes out of the way. You get much better than that. So we'll put this screw, I'll never forget it. Yeah, right. So here we are. Now I got a light on these two bolts. This is the motor mount here. You got a bolt here. You got one there and one back here. This is pretty easy to get at. I recommend again, well I shouldn't say again, I recommend as always, put some lube on here. Whatever you use to, the Lucinol, whatever the heck. So, and before you get into this too far, put a jack, which I have. Put a jack underneath the front of the car, holding up on an oil pan or something under there. You can put a piece of wood on it, you can put cotton towel, whatever you want to do. Just, because if you don't, this is going to drop down, and you don't want that. You don't want that at all. So let me get the wrenches out here and put some... Okay, let's buzz a couple of these out, get them done with. This one here. And again, if it's tight, you take it out a little at a time. You don't have to get it all out at one time. Just slowly work. These aren't tight. So a little. If you don't have air tools, buy them. They are the coolest thing. So they might cost a little money, but the money you save working on your own vehicles is a lot of money. Mechanics charge. They're worth it, don't get me wrong, they're worth it, but these things are worth it too. So let me get the rest of these three out of there. You're not going to be able to see that one in this setup. So now we're taking out these two bolts right here, and when you loosen these up, you'll see the motor dropping down a little bit. You got to counter that with a jack. So, crazy light. See the motor jumping around a little bit? Let me pick that up a little more here. That should be good. And sometimes you'll see this happen. The stud comes out with a nut, so not a big deal. Right? Not a big deal. So that's my guess what the offending unit is. I don't know. Let me take it apart a little bit more and figure it out. I think I just got to unbend this stuff here. It just sits on top. So let me take a peek. I got the pig out. Now here's the old one. Pretty exciting, right? You can see there's a tear right there. There's a tear. These things are filled with oil. I don't know why. This is a new one, filled with oil, nice and spongy. This is the old one, no oil, no spongy. It's probably 98% of our problem. I mean, the one underneath wasn't any good either. And I just peeled this off. You know, I got the screwdriver. Once you get that far, you'll see it pops right off. So no big deal. So it's getting a little dark out here. So what I did, I put this thing back in here. You can see those flanges. I bent them back over. No big deal. So that's all good to go. So I cleaned off the offending area down here. Let's see if I can get a picture of that. This is where we're putting the stuff. So where the mounting bolts are, I cleaned off those areas where the pads are going to sit. So yeah, that should be alright. Slam it back together. So let me put it back in and happy days. Okay, so I replaced this motor mount over here. Last time we talked, a couple days ago, I guess. And let me start it up, and I'm going to we'll see how the motor shifts. It made a huge bit of difference. Virtually zero growling when I start the car up. There is still some vibration over there, so I'm going to change that motor mount. But again, let me start it up, and you'll be able to see how much the engine moves around. You didn't see much going on at all there, so anyway, I'm going to change the other motor mount. That one is underneath the battery box, so let me tear the battery out. That should be pretty simple enough. And I think as far as complexity, I think the hardest one is the bottom. This would probably be number 2, and I think the battery one is real simple, but let me take the battery out and we'll see what's going on. Okay, here's the bolts we got to take out. This is a bigger one, 21 millimeter. These are both 15s, I guess. They might be 5/8 inch, but I got a 15. You want the thing to fit tight. These things are stinking tight. So anyway, and before you do this, I should say this first, put a jack under the engine, because once you loosen this bolt, the engine's going to drop down some. So, and if they are tight, don't be afraid to, again, take the nut on and off a little bit. Just back it up a little bit, put it back on a little bit. That way you get a little bit you loosen it up, you get it moving. All this rust and stuff in there, if you just zip the nut right off, you could break the stupid thing. So anyway, just take your time with it. No reason to break it all at one time. Let's see. We've got all day to screw it up, right? These ones aren't too bad. Okay. Yuck. Ugh, bad stuff. Okay, we got it just about out of there. Okay, that's it. So we'll see what difference that thing makes. Doesn't look too bad, but again, I was still getting some vibration in the car, so let me put the new one in and take it for a spin. Okay, third motor mount replaced. This is the one that was under the battery. Let me start it and see if you see the engine moving. Well, let me take it for a ride and see how it runs. It seems like it's getting better all the time, so let me take it for a run and try it out. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.